Good morning.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. Okay, Kimber and I are excited for this, but we have bad news. Shoney isn't here. He got sick and can't even talk. Well, he's here listening in on us, but he's not here to present. So you get me and Kimber. But so if you don't know me, I am Cameron Wilson. I am the productivity coach in the market center with Shoney. I was a maps coach before that. And before that, I was the director of operations for the Red Sign team. Then build up from just me and the two agents that started it to I don't know, there's like 30 of us when I switched to be a coach. So I'm excited to be here, excited to go over goals. I was telling Kimber, I could talk an hour without AI about goals. She's like, I could talk about goal AI for an hour. So, good. We got this for sure.
We're the two nerdiest to pass the torch for just today. So, yeah, we're excited to just share. These are things, mainly Cameron's going to go through his whole goal setting process that he's done year after year after year. And I am going to throw in a lot of commentary just around what I do on a daily basis from my goals that I set at one point throughout the year to leverage AI. And usually it's something small that you don't maybe even know that it does. So that's our goal for today.
We do this? We jump
Let's
in?
do this.
Okay. Oh, hold up. I'm trying to share my screen. I'm just going to share the whole thing.
Yeah, Dailies, I think he was being facetious.
Okay. Kimber, shout out if there's questions. I'm not paying attention to that, but I'm just going to run through
I will do that.
everything here. So let's build a personal AI execution engine with our goals. So we all know this, right? The market is shifting. It's getting harder and harder. There's fewer and fewer transactions. And so execution is the thing that's going to change everything. It seems like we have to work harder to find the people that are actually going to buy and sell. And so it's not just the days of COVID where you're like, I have a house, now I have 20 offers. It's you actually need to work. You need to be a skilled agent, and you need to be very consistent in the things that you're doing, especially in your lead generation and some of those lead metrics that you need to do. And I feel like new agents keep getting into business. And so it's not like other times where there was a shift where everyone got out of the business. We still have a fair amount of agents and a lot of new agents getting in. And so it's challenge finding people. There's competition, but that doesn't mean that 2026 can't be your best year. And I bet for some of you right now, this 2025 has been your best year. So if it has been, throw something in the chat. Let us know how you're doing. And then let's even blow that out here in 2026.
Cameron, will you go full screen on this just so it's a little bit bigger?
Yes.
Thank you.
How's that?
Perfect.
Okay. So let's talk about business planning a little bit. This is kind of the time of year where we do this, where everyone's building a little plan and we're trying to figure out what do we do. And Kimber, I don't know how you are with this, but I tend to set goals all the time, all over, and they don't last more than a couple of months often. And so I have followed this plan that we'll talk about to a T to make it a little bit easier, because we're going to do something that makes it simple. We don't want something complex. We don't want to just write a whole business plan to throw in a binder. I mean, I bet most of you have gone to some sort of business clinic or business planning class this month, or going to do it next month, and you have a binder of something. But really where you need to get in is you need to start to have this weekly rhythm. You need some accountability and you need some feedback. And so when you look at all of these are things that a coach typically would bring to you. But coaches are expensive a lot of the times, hard to do. And so if you're wanting to do this at the highest level, sometimes You just need to have AI be that person that's looking over everything. And I love this quote by James Clear on the bottom. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So if you want to ensure that you accomplish a goal, you need to set your floor with your systems. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to plan that out. We're going to have a system that's going to go help us. And I'll show you that here in a second. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to get to a clear 2026 one thing goal. We're going to use a framework called the GPS to set your goals, your priorities, and your strategies. Give you the idea of how to execute that over the months and the weeks of the year. And then we're going to actually bring AI into it and build out a custom assistant that will track you every single week. And then you will have a plan and how to do that for the entire year. So the one thing, what's the one thing that I can do such by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? This is the business plan. To me, I'm financially driven. So every time I write a plan, the top of my goal is how much money do I want to make? How much do I want to put in my pocket that year? Some people are a lot better and they say things like, I want to help so many families or so many houses or do these things. But whatever your goal is, you need to figure out what is the one thing that if you did that, everything else in your life would become easier or unnecessary. And to me, that's money, right? It just kind of makes sense. If I have enough money, I can do all of the things that I want to do and accomplish all my goals, do all the investing, do the giving, have the impact. And so I define this by money. How much do I want to make? And then there's a why behind it. If you don't have a why, then life is going to seem hard, right? If you don't have a reason to have a six pack, you're probably not going to go on a diet or do a sit up. But if you have a reason, then it's really easy to do it. So having a why behind this one thing is uber important. And I think the secret to it. So let's talk about the GPS. This is the way to do it. And I've heard countless stories of people that gain clarity here and this is how they kind of just guide their lives. So what the GPS is that you set one big goal, you list out 3 priorities to get theirs, and then you have 5 strategies to accomplish the priorities. It's going to end up looking very simple, like this screenshot here, where you just write them out. So for me, primary goal, how much money do I want to make? Priority number 1 would maybe be the source that I would go get this. So my sphere of influence. And then the strategies would be, what do I do there? Maybe I'm running like a 36 touch campaign. I'm going to have 4 events. I'm going to call all of my sphere at least 3 times or something. And you can have all these strategies. So there's a couple of rules when you're doing this. Number 1 is you have to have a goal that actually motivates you, right? If I said I want to make $1 million, that sounds awesome. I would love to have $1 million. I don't think I want to do the work in real estate to make $1 million. I have seen those agents, seen how many hours they work. I don't think I like that trade-off. So number 1, your goal, you have to have the why behind it. The second thing, priorities. These need to be in order of importance. Priority number 1 is the most important thing, and you are going to start here. And so if you jump down to priority number 3 and are working on that all of the time, spending all your time, energy, and effort there, you're doing it wrong. You should spend the most of your time on priority 1. Then when you've done everything you can there, you're going to move to priority 2, then to priority 3. By the way, also, these priorities need to help lead you to accomplish your goal, right? If your goal is to make $250,000, your priority can't be to be your own transaction coordinator to save you money, because that's probably not going to help you make $250,000. Prospecting, sphere of influence, other lead generation, those kind of things will. So they have to actually lead to the goal, and they need to be crystal clear. Like, Kimber, if I looked at your plan, I should be able to go do this exact same plan that you have written out there, because it is so clear that I could do it. That helps as you bring in leverage. or even AI, because this is how they will know what you're trying to accomplish. If you hire an assistant and they can look at your plan and be like, oh, hey, look, this thing in your plan, this strategy, I can actually do it. Then boom, that person has it. With the
Just
strategy.
to that, Cameron, what's cool about what you're going to show us with the custom AI assistant to help us manage this is sometimes we're sitting in, let's say, a meeting with our team, and maybe there are new team members, right? That happens all the time. I will put you on the spot, but there's probably a few new team members that have been added to your team this year, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I think what's hard about human being is we forget to give people the context of all the here's why we're going this way, or here's why this is our direction. And so leveraging this AI assistant, the AI assistant will have all the context to our goals. Like, this is the why behind it. And we don't have to keep introducing it to the team. This is why this is important. Context is my favorite part about using AI and leveraging AI.
Yeah. When I love that we have a word for it now. I felt like before we struggled, like we have to bring everyone on the same page and stuff, but because AI wants context, now we just use that as like people want context too.
Yeah.
Best thing. So the last thing with the strategies, they need to be specific. They're either going to be do this many times a week, a month, a quarter, whatever, or by this date. Like if you're like, I really need a CRM, like that's one of my strategies, you're going to put a deadline on it. And if you do that, then you're going to be there. Now, the strategies, if you do all of the strategies, it should help you accomplish the priority. If you accomplish the priorities, you accomplish the big goal. Makes perfect sense. But then this is your plan. Now, there's two reasons why people don't hit their goal after doing this thing. Reason number one is because they had the wrong strategies and priorities. That's usually not the case. It's usually the second thing, which is they didn't actually work their plan. They wrote down, I'm going to make 30 minutes of phone calls every day, and then they never did it. So when I look at these as a coach, I almost ask them and say, hey, give me like a thumbs up, thumbs down with these strategies. Like, how are you doing? Are you actually doing them? Are you living your plan? Or is it just you're not there because you're not doing the actions? So live your plan here. So then you have the simple, focused, actionable game plan. So I want to know, throw some numbers out for me here in the chat. How much money would you like to make, or how many closings? What's going to be your big goal for this 2026 year? Throw these out as I chatter here more on the GPS. So I want to tell a story about this. It's not even my story, but I've heard two versions of this. I've heard Jeff Woods, who ran the One Thing for a while, and then Johnny Christensen, our regional director here in Utah. They both have similar stories where they had to create a GPS and show it to Gary Keller as part of what they were doing. And I remember talking to Johnny as he was creating his, and it was a big deal. Like, it was very important that he don't get this wrong. He wanted to have the perfect plan and then be able to go execute on it. And that's kind of how you should treat this. Like, imagine that when you're done with this, you're going to hand this plan to Gary Keller, and he's going to look over it and look back at you and look at it and really think, is this going to be the plan that will accomplish this goal? So it's going to focus you to get some clarity. And we're going to show you, and Shoni's even built out a custom GPT that you can just use right now, or you can build out your own with what we're going to send you today. I went through it yesterday, and it was great, to be honest, but there were a couple of times where I'm like, I need it to go deeper. I need more. I need to have more clarity, more focus. The next thing that it does that's amazing is it's going to reduce the noise. Like, I'm pretty sure all of you have gone to an awesome training and think, that's the secret. That's the thing that I need to do. Or this is the lead generation strategy I'm going to try. And if you already have your priorities laid out and you know what to do, you can just say no to everything else. It makes it so easy because you're so focused in on this. And then it is going to lead us into our weekly cadence of accountability and rhythm that we're going to run, and we'll show you that. So this is that. So when you have this GPS, it's going to be very yearly, right? So then we're going to take it and use this 411. What this means is it's 4 weeks, 1 month, 1 year kind of a concept. So we're going to write our yearly goal. Then what are we going to accomplish this month? Like, what would you need to accomplish this month to be on pace for that, right? If you want to make $120,000, it's easy. This month you have to make $10,000. Or you might want to front load it a little bit so you can take some time off, maybe make 12 or 15,000. And then you're going to go to your week and you're going to write in week 1, what are you going to do this week to accomplish that monthly goal? And then that weekly goal, those go into your calendar as actions, time block sessions. So if you're like, okay, to make this $12,000, I need to prospect for 5 hours. Well, then you go to your calendar and say, where does this fit? And put that in. If you say, I need to send out my newsletter, it's like, okay, do I have that? Do I need to create that? Where do I need to go? And you just list all of those things out in week 1. Now, then before week 2 happens, so usually I do this Sunday night or Monday morning before I get going. Then in week 2, I put out everything there. You're not going to fill out weeks in advance because you're going to realize I failed this past week. I did not do the things. So I'm either going to need to catch up or I'm going to change a little bit. This is where you can change and not stick with the exact same plan over and over. Your GPS doesn't change. Your 411s on the week are going to change, and you're going to strategically do this. But then you can use this in your AI coaching to fill this out, have a plan, put it in your calendar, and have AI help hold you accountable to this. Any questions? Now,
There were some good numbers that people threw out in the chat for what they're planning to make this year. 350, 500, a few 500s. Melanie, 111, love that. Caden said 30 families. So different numbers, different ways to frame it.
Love that.
Lots of numbers.
So,
Nope.
What was that?
No questions yet. So we're good.
Okay, good. That means I'm doing perfect.
Killing it.
You guys have probably all been a part of this and seen this. Someone's like, I'm going to lose weight this year. And January 1st, they go to the gym. They start out strong. And by February, they're going maybe once a week. By March, they stop going altogether. And then they're struggling trying to go cancel their gym membership to save themselves money. This is the same kind of thing. It's like we tend to set a goal. We're so excited about it. We start out strong and then everything happens and it's the chaos. Even in real estate, I feel like it's harder because like if you want to go help 30 families, like that's almost 3 a month. So you're probably having a few people in your pipeline and there could be some crazy times. It's like, how do I go find new people when I have all of these problems with my current deals? And so it's this execution that's difficult. We typically aren't even tracking. Like, are you making it or not? How many families did you help this year? Like, you guys all threw out these very specific numbers and things that you want to do, but where are you right now for 2025? If I were to ask that same question, how many of you know how much you've made, how many closings you've had, and those kind of things? Like, a lot of times we lose track of the numbers, and sometimes that end number is a little easier. It's more of the lead measures that bring that into us. Like, are you having the conversations in those things? You're not on the right priorities. Oftentimes, we've changed and shifted. We're like, sphere of influence calling is boring. I'm going to move to social media marketing, and then, gosh, I'm not an influencer yet. So, what about YouTube? And I don't like YouTube, and you're just jumping all over the place. And so we're gonna stop that and stay very consistent. It makes it so easy to put up calendar blocks. You no longer have to create this repeating schedule that you end up not living because you're like, I should work out at 7 a.m. And then that's just your repeating block every day. And you're like, I don't do that. We're going to do it week by week. So it's actually real. It helps with your follow-up and lead gen consistency. So each week, this keeps you aligned week after week. It makes it super easy. So Here's what we're going to do is we are going to actually build us an AI execution assistant. So this is going to help us build that GPS. You probably have a handful of ideas already that you could throw out there. Then we're going to have it help us take that GPS and put it into a 411. So we have weekly and monthly goals. It's going to become our weekly coach, our strategy partner, give us some accountability, diagnose anything that we're missing, and be a problem solver. And it's going to do this all year long, and it's going to be so easy. And you don't have to go pay $1,000 for a coach to get someone that can help hold you accountable like this. It's just you logging in and chatting to your assistant every week. So the other thing that this is actually pretty new, by the way, some of these things. AI is not going to forget your plan. Which is crazy to think about. Even me as a coach, like I sometimes would have to ask my clients multiple times throughout the year, like, has the plan changed? What's going on? Because week to week that could change. But this will give us that weekly calibration. You can do real-time math and models, adjust on the fly with your lead generation strategies, anything that you're struggling with mindset, because oftentimes that's really what it is. We know what we need to do. Like I know if I want to lose weight, I should eat better. I should drink more water and not so much soda and those things, but we just don't do it. So this can help with some of that mindset. You can get personalized reports. You don't like how something looks, tell AI to change it. And so then you just get that consistent accountability. I feel like this is all build up for this. Are we ready? Should we actually show it? Should we do this?
Yes. And some of these things that it seems a little obvious, but I like to mention when I teach AI. When we talk about we're going to go build an AI assistant, you may have heard the term a GPT. And so sometimes you've heard either one and maybe not them together. And they are pretty much the same thing in what we're talking about right now. So you are going to go build an assistant, and how we're going to do that, correct me if I'm wrong, Cameron, is through GPTs in ChatGPT.
Yep, exactly.
Which is available to you as long as you have the Plus account, which is just the lower level paid account.
Yep, and that's what we're gonna do. So this is actually me playing around with it last night. So I asked it, help me build a GPS for 2026. If you just threw that in ChatGPT right now, it would have no idea what you're talking about. But it was like, great. What's one measurable outcome you want to achieve? It's asking me, what's my goal? And so then I just started to fill this in. What was your current GCI? What's your average commission? And then I gave it some math, which it did it. I told it my split and things. Where do I get closings? And it started to ask me a lot of questions. Then it was like a B, C, D kind of variable or a test format. And so I was able to just even write D. I'm going to do that. And then it did that. And then I want to show you down here. I even got to the point where I was like, all right, like I've done enough for the demo. I've given you a lot of real answers, given you some fake ones. And so it gave me like the start of it. So I have my goal. I have my priority 1, 2, and 3. And then it has 1 strategy and 2 strategies and priority 3. So then I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm like, add a few more strategies, just follow the idea of what the answers I gave and make things up. You're the coach. And it said, nope, we're not going to do this. I can't build your strategies for you.
So, will you be able to minimize that screen, the floating mini one?
Oh yeah, there we go.
We're in Inception, so we're good now. Thanks for mentioning that.
So then it had me actually go through it. So I want to show how to build this step by step. Now, I might be going fast, but 2 things about me, if I'm going too fast. Number 1, we are recording this and you can rewatch it and follow step by step when you actually have all of the resources. The second thing that we're going to do in Kimber, I didn't even tell you about this. This is a surprise thing.
Here we go.
We are going to have a follow-up class next week where we don't have any content. We're just getting on for Q&A. So if you're like, I want to do this, but I'm getting stuck or I'm having problems or anything you want to know, we're going to actually run through this with you. So if you wanted to jump on that, if you're struggling, we'll have that. So those two things. So sorry if I go too fast. Kimber, you slow me down if you need to. But we're going to go through and build this. So Shoni laid out the what we're going to do here. So we're going to create a custom GPT, like Kimber said. We're going to give it a whole bunch of information and knowledge. Then we have some master instructions here. We're going to name it, and then we're going to customize it. So let's go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So where we're going to start here is on the side menu. If you click Explore under GPTs, if it's hidden, you might have to click it open and click Explore. You have to do this on the website. Some people might have like down here, I have little Chat GPT as an app. You do have to do this on the web, and then just click Create. And this is how to create the GPT. So if you're doing this for anything that you want, you can actually click Create and just chat with ChatGPT to help you make it. But we already have a whole bunch of the information that we have here. And so we're going to start to fill it out. So the first thing that I want to do is we're going to give it a whole bunch of knowledge. And what's cool about this knowledge is how it works is before it goes and answers anything, it's going to scan through all of this knowledge and then use that to help guide its answers. So if we want it to act a specific way, it is going to be in this knowledge. So we're going to upload some files here, and let's say put them all in my download. So we have a whole bunch here that Shoni has done for us that gets us ready for all of these things, a whole bunch of files. So we're just going to drop it in here. And as it's uploading that, we're going to keep filling out more information.
And these are going to be provided to us, but they're also generic. Is that correct?
Yes. And some of them, we could even look at what they look like. So this one, they're not going to come clean and pretty, but it's
it looks like
coaching playbook. Whatever's trying to load is not working. But so it's like the coaching playbook, accountability playbook, behavior mindset. So as we're getting into all of these things, it will know what to do. Economic model, lead generation model. So it's being trained as if it were like a KW Maps coach or Gary Keller himself, kind of an idea. Here's how to build a GPS and a 411. So all of these things, it's just there teaching it. Yes. Okay. I feel like I didn't upload anything.
And you purposely aren't sharing your screen right now, right?
Oh, no. Did I stop sharing? Okay. Okay, we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
And the reason why I asked you that question is I've done things in the past, like where, and I actually got this from Shoni, where we built out a brand Bible, right? So now I have already answered all these questions about myself, and this is my brand, and I went and uploaded this. What we're doing right now, I bring that up because you can do something like that where you go put something that you've already personalized to you. We are providing you with all the playbook of here are the tools you need to run a high level GPS for the year. And then this assistant is going to help you personalize it. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I didn't end up adding all of them, but it's making me do one by one. Okay. So now we just have to fill out the rest of this information. So one of the things that you'll get here is this is how it will come is the master instructions. And so it's this big, long instructions. You can see it's like 9 pages as a prompt. So it's going to help us with all of this. So we're just going to copy all of that and paste it in as the instructions. And so now it has big, long instructions. And if you wanted to look through and see what it's actually doing, you can, but it gives a role and a purpose. You're an AI goal setting and accountability assistant. You support agents, your core mission, principles and behaviors, things to avoid. Do this at the start of the relationship. We're going to use these models. You're going to have modes, goal setting mode, weekly coaching and accountability, business plan builder. And so it is just kind of saying what it is and giving the idea that they can look into all of this knowledge for some of these questions. Now we need to name it. I always name my assistants real names. So this one, like maybe Gary is Gary Keller. And then what it is, AI goal setter. You can add a little picture here, give it a description. This one's just going to be for us, so I don't care as much for this. And then you add conversation starters. So like, help me set my goals. And then this will be a button. Let's do a weekly recap. Build out 411. And you can put whatever you are thinking that you're going to consistently do with this AI goal setters.
So conversation starters are optional in this experience. And if every week you're going to come in here and maybe do some of these things, right? Like help me set my goals, or let's do a weekly recap. Then the conversation starters just truly build out the framework of what this assistant can be asked or can do for you.
Yeah.
But not required.
Here, so like this mode 3, the business plan builder mode. If you said something like this, build my business plan or annual plan, revise targets, help me plan my next year, it's going to be like, okay, I need to go into mode 3, the business plan builder. So we're just giving it some of these, help me set my goals. It will probably be like, okay, that's business plan build mode. And so we're just giving us shortcuts to click so we don't have to type these things out. We can just say, let's do this. So then you can click create here. I'm going to do this only with me because no one else needs to do that. And so right now what we have is a generic goal setting GPT. It's nothing different than this one over here that I was showing you that Shoni shared with all of us. It doesn't know me yet. So what you can do is now you can start to give it information about you. So for example, we can upload more files, and because I had already done my 2026 GPS with this, so wait, there's sharing again.
And I'm just going to verbally answer this question because as I answered it in the chat, then you started talking about it. So it was a really good question, Spencer. So do I need to take these docs, upload it into the knowledge section, or are they already, or do I need to go build them out? I answered it that they're in the drive. You just go upload them and then you can customize. But what you said is you're just showing, here's the resources. And then you went and added your GPS, your own business build out document that you've done for the year.
Yeah. So yeah, once you have this built, you can do it either here in this create mode, or you can go back to your GPTs and start like, oh, here I got Gary. And so I could start chatting with Gary and say, help me set my goals. And we're going to go through a process to get out of this. So now we can get our GPS. So once you go through all of this, then what we're going to do is we're going to go edit this. Right. So then if you click back onto explore GPTs and go into my GPTs, you can see here, we're just going to edit Gary here. And then we want to add the files. So once we go through and get our GPS, we just go and upload it. I always save my things as a .md I hear that AI likes that better than a PDF. They'll do great with both of them. It just prefers an MD. So if my assistant is like, "Hey, can you send this to me as an Excel file rather than a Google Sheet?" Like, that's not hard for me to do. I'd do that for an assistant. So I'm gonna my assistant too. So I just save it as .md, and it's basically the same. If that's over your head and you're like, "What is Cameron talking about?" Save it as a PDF, upload it. It will be fine. And then we go and click update. So now Gary, this goal setter that I created, knows me and it has my goals. So as I go talk to it, I don't have to remind it about anything. It has my goals there, and then we can talk about it. So then as I go in and I say, let's like build out my 411, it knows my goals. It has my GPS, and then it can start to do this. And so this was a goal. These are my priorities. Do you want me to build from this or make edits first? Like, it's ready to go. It's ready to be my assistant and do all of this. Questions?
I'm just going to reiterate what was just said.
Please.
You can create the GPT with what we've given you in the drive, and now you have that. It seems like Cameron's recommendation is go back into your GPT once you have your GPS and add yours to the knowledge documents. That way, you won't have to continue giving the GPT the context of what your goals are for the year. Correct?
Yeah. Let's see. What's Shoni?
And then Shoni just gave a really good step-by-step of what each section is. So
yeah,
I were you, which I am me. I'm going to also do this. I'm going to go copy Shoni's instructions and paste them into my notes so I can go do that later.
Yeah. Bill, I don't know what GPT stands for. It is a thing that means nothing, but it's just like the GPT in Chat GPT. So you're just customizing it to be like your own Chat GPT, but very specific for this. So then you have a custom GPT. You have your assistant. Oh, Jillian.
There's Jillian.
Did you know it, Jillian, or did you have to look that up?
This is the moment where I said for how much I've taught AI this year, didn't even think about what that was stood for. So
yeah. Okay, well then we have a custom assistant. And we can start using this assistant all the time. And it gets more custom, right? The more conversations you have with it, you can even drop those in. Like if you have your 411 built out, drop it in. If you have past GPSs, drop it in. You can add up to 20 different files to ChatGPT, or you just get creative and make one big long file of things. There is some limit, but it seems ridiculous, the amount of stuff that you can add. So then as you want to give it more and more context, it's going to be a better and better assistant. It's like the same idea as if you were to hire an actual assistant and you were to say, hey, the last 10 years that I've been in business, here's how it went. And ask me questions about it. You could do the same thing with this this assistant, and you're training it to be your assistant, and you're giving it all of the knowledge that you're doing. So then these are some of the things that you might even throw in as your conversation starters. Help me build my GPS. Help me map out my 411. By the way, I didn't mention something, but the GPS is usually done for a specific period of time. In this case, we're doing it for 1 year. To be honest, I feel like my life changes every single quarter. And so I do mine quarterly. But the way that I start out is I build my whole year, and then I go build a quarter based off of that. Like if I want to be there at the end of the year, what does my quarter GPS need to look like? And so I do both of them. And then I have my monthly 411. So if you wanted to build a quarterly one, you can do that. And then as you start getting into it, run my weekly accountability check-in. Help me rebuild my lead gen model. What's the one thing this week? Why am I behind? You can start to ask it these questions. And if you give information to this assistant, then it can be able to answer these questions for you. So we gave it our goals. If we give it our numbers, it will know that. It knows our lead generation pillars because it asks us those, and it can start to know your weaknesses, your trends, your habits, time blockings, commitments. You can give it all of this information, and then it's not generic ChatGPT trying to coach you. It is fully 100% customized and personal to you. And if you go ask it the same question as me, we're going to get very different answers because we're very different people. We're taking AI and making it our personal assistant. So then you just need to get into practice with this, right? If you had an assistant and you never talked to them, you had a coach, you never met with them, it would be really hard. But now you just need to get into this cadence of accountability. So daily, you could have a quick little button that you do, or something that's like, hey, what's my one thing today? I'm going to time block that. I'm going to take an action. Every week, let's build out our 411. So we can do that. Every month, let's look at the lead generation, the budget, the key performance indicators. Every quarterly, let's look at the GPS. Maybe I change my goals. Maybe I'm on path to do more and I need to up them. Maybe I'm not anywhere close to it and I need to adjust some of my strategy or something like that. You can do all of this as you go. And then you get in this cadence to do a quarterly reset. So rerun your economic model. Now, to do these things, you have to give your GPT some of your numbers. You can upload your P&L. You can upload a spreadsheet with how many closings you've had. And then start to chat with it like this. Like, let's tighten the priorities. Let's adjust the strategies. Reset this. You're done guessing. You're done drifting around. You get very purposeful on what you are doing, and you're using AI to do the heavy lifting for you.
Can I interject on a question? So Jennifer asked, it keeps writing emails for me saying things like, we are happy you reached out to us, but I'm a solo agent, not a team. That is something you can specify in your instructions. So I used the example earlier of building basically a brand manager for my business. And in the instructions, I tell it to either speak in the first person or speak in third person. So something as little as that, you can include in instructions, regardless of if you're creating a GPT that's the content strategist, content creator, you can get as granular as that in instructions. So I just wanted it took a little bit more explanation. So I wanted to answer that.
Yeah. No, and that's good to know. And I was thinking as you were talking, Kimber, because I thought I should have like a brand document and everything, and I have yet to do that. But I know exactly how I would do it. I would ask ChatGPT to build that out for me.
And Shoni had an awesome playbook at the beginning of the year that I got my hands on, I purchased, and it has an awesome framework for that. So
makes it easy.
There you go.
So every month I would just add all of your documents that you have. How much did you spend? What did you put it on? What are some of your numbers, your conversion rates? You could even just brain dump to it. Here's everything that I did. I would use voice mode. There's a little button with the microphone on it that you could use that, or you could use like Whisper Flow or one of these other talk to text type things, and give it this information, and then it will start to remember for you. This is where I think that you get the most power with it, though, is just weekly. Shoni's probably mentioned this a whole bunch on these other classes, because it's a Tony Robbins thing that he says, that if you look at what you did every year, you're going to have some bad years. If you look at what you did every quarter, you'll have bad quarters. If you look every month, you might have some bad months. If you look every day, you might have some bad days. But then the more often you're looking at these things, the more that you can pivot and shift and change. And so even Tony Robbins mentions that he has some businesses that he's looking at some of the key metrics multiple times in the day so he can shift faster to make improvements. And so we need to shift and change if we want to hit our big goals and live our big lives. So that's what the 411 is. It's our weekly review to look back at it. Like, what wins did we have? What numbers do we have? Where gaps are there? Setting our focus again, getting a few commitments, and then having an accountability plan. And you do all of this with your new assistant that you just created. And you just tell it these things like, here's what happened well. Here's where I'm struggling. Here's my numbers. Help me out with some of this. And it is like having a coach every single week. You don't have to have the money to pay the coach, and you can fit it in Sunday night if you wanted to. You can wake up at 2 a.m. and do this. Like, you are open to do it how you want to do. So the 3 rules of this AI system is you got to tell it everything. Like, if you had a coach and you didn't tell your coach everything, your coach is just going to be guessing and not give you the best advice. You need to meet with it weekly, and then you let it challenge you. So every month, update your 411, load that in, right? If you're getting too many of those, add them all as one long document and then add it in there. The clearer your inputs, the clearer your coaching. So, and then I like this quote, I don't know who it is. If you protect the system will protect your results. So that's what we're going to do. You should be putting in your calendar right now when you're going to meet with your AI assistant. Like, are you a Sunday night kind of person getting ready for the week? Are you going to wake up early Monday morning? So really be ready Sunday night so you can wake up early Monday and get on this and figure out what works for you and start that. Add that into your calendar and make it a non-negotiable. That's where you should start right now with this. So then when you start doing this, you're going to know your one thing. You're going to have your GPS to guide you through all of this. You have the 411 that directs you every single week. You're going to be very aligned. You're going to know your numbers and you're going to know what to do about them. You have clear priorities and you have consistent execution. Like, if we were to just take one of these things, I bet like an agent would love to have something like that. If I just said like you had clear priorities and you're not second guessing yourself all the time, like weight would be lift off a lot of your shoulders. Or if I just said you had consistent execution, like, those are some amazing things to have. And that's what this system brings. You just have to actually use it. So you're going to receive the packet, download that, upload those 10 knowledge documents so your GPT has all of the information. Put in those master instructions. There's a build along checklist to help you out. Then we have some sample prompts to put in there, and then we're going to give you those replays. So if you need to rewatch through this, do this. You'll notice that we did this very quickly. You're going to have to chat with it a little bit longer as you're setting up like your GPS and things like that. And if you don't like what it gives you, change it. Tell it something different. If you already have a GPS, you can provide that and say, help improve this, whatever that is. So take the 30 minutes to get your GPS dialed in, because then you can run the 411 thing. And like I mentioned, one more thing, we move fast today. We're leaving you with this as homework. We want you to move forward. So if you're getting stuck, we'll send out more information this, but Tuesday, November 25th at 11 Mountain Standard Time, we're going to do the Q&A session. So we're here to help you however you want to do this and however you need. So my last final little thought here, better clarity on Sundays equals better execution by Friday. So go get clear on your Sundays with your new assistant.
So we had a question about the instructions we pasted. That list that you sent us, we're going to receive like in the next little bit time frame.
Yes.
There we go. Okay. The instructions are on that Google Drive.
Yep. Gordon just dropped it there in the chat. And then Shoni will do his great recap email like he always does.
Awesome. These were great questions that everybody.
Yes. Well, and then one more thing, we just put up on a link here on for school. If you are not part of the community, this is where we house all of the replays and all of the links to all of these things that we're doing. So it's free to join. Go join school and go learn a whole bunch. You can have conversations in there and then get all of these things. And there's even a calendar as we start to add more of these classes and things like that. So you'll know what to get in there. So,
Amazing.
yeah. Okay, Kimber, what did I not talk about that you wish I would have? Or what do you want to say?
I don't know. This applies to anything that is that's probably going to be on your plan, right? Because we talked about the one plan and the 3 ways you're going to do that and the 5 strategies. So usually when we start to get into the weeds of the strategies, there are going to be things that you either need to do, you need to be reminded to reach out on, and that you need to learn. Maybe you don't know something and you need that in order to execute one of the strategies. Using ChatGPT even for that has been very helpful to me. So I'm just going to give you a small, quick context for that, but think about it when it applies to you going and running your business strategies. I am someone that is living and breathing AI and systems and technology and marketing. The ways that agents can do that easier is what I wake up thinking about every day. So because of that, I need to be the one that knows a decent amount about it, but also what are the new things. And AI is lightning speed. It is moving at a different pace than when the internet came out and when other technologies have came out. We had like a 15-year run of a release of something like internet. AI is not going to be that, and we're already noticing that. So I need to know everything there is to know about AI and news because of I just described what my role is every day. So I initially started asking it every week, like, what are the things I need to know or what's the latest releases? And then anything you ask AI, you can actually go tell it to just schedule what you're doing. So I was realizing I was going in every week and saying the same thing. And so I want you to think, what are you going into AI and doing every week, the same thing? You can actually go ask it to schedule that, and then it will be in your schedule, and then it will just be prompted. It already has the instructions, it has the task, and then you just come in and absorb the knowledge. So I used an example of what applies to me and what I do. And there is going to be application for what you do as an agent, whether it's do I need to go to this source and look up market stats, whatever it is, hyperlocal info, schedule something, get those strategies also leveraged through AI. That would just be my last little bit because once you start realizing that you didn't have to just go Google search rabbit holes, you're going to be excited about what AI can do.
When you can even tell it with this.
Yeah.
Sunday night, I want to create my 411. Remind me.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So have it remind you because this all feels good. And I saw the little note that Shoni had that said, do this 30 minutes tonight. And I said, okay, Shoni. And yet I have to do this for 52 weeks. What Cameron just said is how I'm going to end up executing that. So take it a step further and take it a step further, and you'll realize AI will come along with you. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
Just great comments. Great comments.
Yeah.
Eden's excited about the AI school. Yeah. Make sure you click on that before you leave. And thanks for being here today. Come on Tuesday.
Thanks, everyone.